Welcome back, Master Students, to week number 10 for review and day by day. What I'm going to try to do here is get over some of the assignments that we talked about for moment by moment, and we're going to see if we can sharpen up some of our assignments here, some of the traders, the future stars, right? Let's go ahead and start off here with Smokey. So Smoke has ticker symbol ASTS. And another thing that we can do here is actually present the trading, the Discord here for the master students, right? The stage, which is for Strategies 1 students. I'm going to be able to present it here so that you guys can also be a part of, whomever is watching this in the future. Today's date being November 2nd, 2024. We're going to be able to present the chat just like, let's see, just a moment, team. Here we go. Just like this here, right? So you'll be able to see it here on the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Now, Smoke, if I can get a little bit of insight here for what you did, right? So I'm just gonna wait. Hold on, just a sec. Don't type it out yet. What I'm gonna do is just ask you briefly if this is kind of what you're observing, right? So what I'm looking at here is that you're giving me initial price action on a 12-hour time frame, or is it for the next? Are we guessing the next day, or are we going to be guessing for the next say week, or what are you thinking? To the end of October. Okay, got it. Okay, so that could have how long of a trade was that? Your determination of price. How long? To the end of October of 2020 of this wait. 1 month. Cuz we are on let's see. Oh, wait. So October 27th to December 1st. There we go. Okay, so October 27th to December 1st. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what you have here. So, all right, so I can already see here that we have the monthly resistance marking off the 50% of the month retrace, right? We just got that monthly close, the bi-monthly and the 5-month, so that's good. Initial price action was set to come up, right? And now I can see your 12-hour retrace, and I can see your 3-day resistance and or support conversion. I see it there. Now, when did you officially start this analysis? Did you start it from this point here? So we have made the upside that you wanted, not quite the monthly retrace, but into one of your ranges, and it rejected, right? Is that currently what you're doing? Okay, good stuff. So that's already headed in the right path. Now, your 12-hour retrace is just a temporary area because I can clearly see that you marked off this zone as a more important area for me to focus on, right? Assuming that's what it is, because your macro tops are purple and purple with yellow and yellow on top. So you have your own color profile as well. Am I seeing this right? You had that zone from August. Okay, so you extended it here because you still believe the zone is valid and you still believe there could be continuation into that zone. Okay, good deal. So I can read your chart. I can see what you're already implying, right? So your downside here is great. I already see that you're getting the continuation towards maybe a bounce here. If that 3-day resistance is gonna be had here, then that means that in some type of short-term time frame, we're getting ourselves an upside, right? So why don't we just go ahead and focus ourselves on stochastic momentum instead of the other things, right? So I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of your RSI and your DMI, right? I think that was DMI. So this is your stochastic momentum indicator. I know that it's going to be a little difficult for the students to see every single aspect of this. So what I'm going to do is actually bring this into a little bit, a tiny bit of a lighter color, just so that we can get the visibility into your purple line. Maybe we can even change that line just for now, right? Just so we can see it. So we have the K% being the darker blue line. Yeah, so why don't we make that one maybe just something else that we can see, right? And we'll identify it as that line. So yeah, why don't we just do that as a pink line like this, and identify it just a little bit different, right? And then that orange line, let's just get it to be super bright. There we go. Okay, so now everyone can kind of see what's going on here, right? So just in case that we have a little bit of a confusion, K% and D%, these are your colors here, okay, team? So, I mean, reality, well, all we want to see is the pivots. All right, so you see upside coming from earnings. Okay, good stuff. So yeah, we're noticing here, team, that the profile that we always look for is good, right? 8-hour time frame already here, and we're noticing that we're getting upside, right? We're getting that throttle on volatility expansion beyond the 15% with already this curvature. So that's good. The only thing that I'm worried about on this is that the 8-hour candle closed a bit red, right? So this may stagger this, it may hinder it just a little bit here. So we need to see how strong that move is from the more immediate short term. So yeah, again, right? So the hourly time frame is giving us just a little bit of consolidation here. This curvature is not the strongest pivot in the world towards that upside. Immediate short-term time frames are all kind of consolidating, right? So, giving us that little bit of a feeling that it's just going straight sideways, right? I mean, it's my opinion too. Remember, we're going to see it as individuals per our discretion, right? So 2-hour time frame, really cool stuff. We're entering contraction, and we have a little bit of an upside posture on this. Unfortunately, just a little bit of declining in volume and getting a little bit of like a dead cat bounce. I'm not sure if it still has the thrust to continue to the downside, but if it does continue to the downside, we're getting closer and closer to the actual inflection point, which would be at around 21.91, right? So let's go ahead and mark ourselves here on the 4-hour time frame. We have contraction happening on that 4-hour. 4-hour to 6-hour, that has a nice thrust here, although you can see the curvature on the histogram on the the throttle here, that it's kind of backing off just a little bit, and we're finally getting that upside thrust on the 8-hour. So I think that I think that we do have probably a little bit more of downside here. Not much though. I think that it would be short-lived, right? So I think you're doing really good, man. This is the way you're determining price here. It feels healthy. I would say you're dropping here to around 23.02 to about 22.65, and from here there could be a continuation towards the upside. Your might as well would be 21.91. And if it is that you bounce from this, from this area in here around that, closer to the $24 zone, well, that introduces your psychological reason to be able to make something pop off really big, right? It feels like it wants to invalidate, though. This is an inverse head and shoulder. So heads up on that thing right there. And I can see here that that it feels like you're building. In other words, just to expand your mind just a little bit, right, my bro? Take a look at this, right? There could be this potential here that you're maybe seeing and not quite observing just yet, right? Just a different little approach here, and you could probably see the building of an ABCD strategy all the way around, right? So you're drawing it correctly. I want you to expand your imagination, use your wit, right, and see what. Try to observe and try to pick out what sentiment is trying to do, or what the institutions may be seeing before anyone else sees it, right? So if this is the case, this would be pretty interesting. This would be a pretty interesting time here, right? We'll get that upside here and then continue to the downside. Do we have any properties as far as the golden rule of 3 on this? Well, maybe so, right? So what I'm going to do here is actually use this trend line and this first beginning one right there. So let's see. We already made this move here, and we already made this move, or we're on this move right here, right? Smoke, we're currently on this bottom one. Okay, good stuff. So we're gonna be looking at a potential bounce from here somewhere soon. Okay, so if that's the case, let's make sure that we are not let's make sure that we can find maybe more confluent points to our resistance on the channel, right? Because if you're saying that this could capitulate here, then let's identify test number 2 or 3 gets us the biggest capitulation events, right? So let's see if we can adjust our channel and earnings on the 14th. Okay, so if we can adjust our channel to identify either a test 2 or test 3 from the golden rule of 3, right? Your 3 tests, second or third capitulation. And test number 3 or 4 would be your true breakout. 4 or 5 would be your true breakout tests. So 1, 2, 3 capitulation, 4 true breakout, 5 true breakout. And okay, so let's adjust Let's adjust how we're observing this to see if there's any other way that we can put our, here we go. I think this would be it. We have a resistance here, resistance and resistance. So this would be marking off test number 1. I gotta say that this would be test number 2 and test number 3 in technical terms, right? So if that's the case, then let's see if just a little bit of a higher time frame gets us that answer. Okay, I think we need a little more information personally, right? So we're going to identify this as 1, 2. Let's see. I don't even know that I can count this, guys. So why don't we make sure that we have that pivot down as tight as we can? So what is the upside on this? High would be $30.60. I hate it when I have to like do this like that, right? Let's go in. Let's go in. And let's make sure that we're not being faked out by any way. We want to be as precise as I can be, as precise as we can be if we're going to be facing some psychological reasoning here, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is just manually bring it to this area here. And now we have test number 1, fake out on 2. Good deal. Or let's see. We're not using this as 1. My apologies. Wow. Okay, so fake out 1. So true test would be still possibly here, right? But we're going to adjust a pivot on the channel. And it would be this critical team. Let's see. Gotcha. Let's go. There we go. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me now. Now what I did here is I adjusted the candles to make sure that we're still observing higher probability tests, right? So this area here is really what I'm looking for as far as a test here, right? So if that area connects to this zone here, which looks like it does, now we have officially your test, test 1 and 2. Now we have a test number 3, and it kind of lines up, right? That test number 3 giving us that huge capitulation. So this is giving us reason to find a short-term downside, a limited downside, because we are also running into earnings. So now we have a catalyst, right? So we have the technical tests, and we have the catalyst leading in here pretty soon. And nice. It looks like on the daily time frame, we even have confluence at that monthly resistance yet again. So yeah, I do think that we would be facing here some very limited short-term downside, right? Might as well thesis would take you down to your 2191 before continuation to the upside. Dude, I think you're doing great. Good stuff on this, Smokey. Keep an eye on this, dude. Let's see if it plays out in this manner even still. Nice. All right. So guys, let's go ahead and now move on to ticker symbol AMZ. And this is going to be for Dea. So Dea, I'm going to go ahead and read this and I'm going to determine here or try to observe or guess actually what time frame you are actually looking at your price movement, right? So I'm going to say here that it could have been within the 30-minute time frame or maybe even the 15-minute time frame. This was for the 1 day, right? Okay, good. So, but your plan was to observe this through the daily, through the 15-minute for the day, right? Or it could have been through the maybe even the 10-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. I think that's where you maybe started drawing this. It was a 10-minute. Okay, good stuff. So I'm landing on the 10-minute right now as we speak, and let's do this. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get that replay function on, and we're going to start determining your price based on the closure of this day. So this is us rewinding to that day, right? So you can already tell that this is a potential head and shoulders formation, giving us that measurement here. It looks pretty damn good. The only weird thing about this is the shoulders. It feels like it's a little bit weak. I don't know if there was enough conviction here or if it had enough room to hit an actual supply zone, right? If it doesn't have that room to hit real supply, or for people to take profit, or a reason for us to continue towards that downside, then the downside may be very limited in this situation here. I love that we're getting a 10-minute time frame increase with massive downside on stochastic momentum. That's already telling us that we are getting a pretty strong downside. Massive candle here in the post hour. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 15-minute time frame, see what that looks like, right? 15-minute time frame stochastics giving us some downside, and you can see here that out of critical contraction, we're strengthening that downside too. So let's see the 30-minute. What we want to see here is to see where it can maybe end, right? So if that 30-minute time frame is showing us that we're still contracting, well, we're contracting here with a possibility of weakening bears, right? And now there's one more thing to tell us that the downside could be limited. Now, what would that be? Sharp decline, immediate reaction, and this is the support level right down here. This is your dead cat bounce, right? So your dead cat bounce target changes right away. That tells us that there may be a bear trap here, right? So if it's slowing down, 30-minute time frame may introduce the potentials of getting us some support at the prior day's high. Remember, always keep in mind your prior day high, prior day low, your pre-market high and pre-market low. Never forget those targets, right? Here we go. So we're looking at a potential target down here. The new lines are going to be drawn. The new lines are going to be drawn by me as this a thicker white color, right? Let's just do it kind of like this, right? Okay, so we're looking at a potential bounce from this area here, and we got to see what else is going to do leading into the day. So hourly time frame, let's see what we got. So hourly time frame appears to have, it's got some kinks here, right? So I'm already feeling weird, and not just any one kink. It's got one here, another here, here, and here. So it's kind of, kind of moving upward, right? If we want to just kind of observe this in this manner, take a look at the uncertainty here, right? Now, do you guys remember what I say when we reached a top resistance? I say it usually with the candles. I was like, okay, guys, we're getting a little bit of what as we're reaching that topside resistance, the exhaustion point. What do you guys remember what I say when that happens? That's right. We're getting that wiggle, right? And we're getting that head shake. That's right, Jen. That's exactly it, right? Stu, you guys remember it well. We're getting that little bit of head shake here. Hourly time frame giving us some head shake even inside of the stochastic momentum indicator. That means that we could be facing a weakening downside, right? So that weakening downside doesn't mean that it can't continue to the downside. It just means that we're at a point where there could be a great demand zone, or there could be a great support area, a historical support that we've used before several times, or we've used it, that we've used before several times, and or used it for a critical bounce to the upside. So taking a look at the dead cat bounce target and observing left, well, there is a lot of relevance there, right? So this bounce here happened from around 187 all the way up to 191, right? Very nice stuff right here. Another bounce happening right here from 187 again, right, to that around 190 target. And as we look back, look at this, right? Huge run that happened from down here at 180 all the way up to the target of 187. Again, with that 187, resisted there and came back down, right? Look at this critical area, team. It is a zone here that you can kind of observe of. It looks like a 50% of something, right? Lots of resistance around that area. Validations of support, continuation, massive bounces, rejections off of that area. So we can't ignore, never ignore zones like those, right? So we're getting that zone that we're identifying as very important. We're getting all that head shake, right? And we can see that, damn, you know what? This could be a bear trap. We may be able to line ourselves up with maybe a long position as soon as we can invalidate that, or start moving above the shoulders of the head and shoulders, right? As soon as we start moving up in here, we validate supports at around that 187. We may be able to get long this 187 here and take a ride on the day, the next day, right? So let's go ahead and observe the next signal here, right? So we're identifying this only through the hourly time frame, massive head shake here. All right, so by hourly time frame, let's see what it's got. So by hourly time frame, all right, it looks like consolidation a little bit, still with a little bit of a downside posturing, but it does have a kink. We can literally click back and forth on that kink and see it. 3-hour time frame. Let's see. So, okay. So we're slowing down a little bit on that downside pivot, right? I see that we're crossing bearish here, and I see that we have a little bit of expansion there. So let's keep on going. Let's see what we have. All right, here we go. So this is still pivoted towards the upside. on a 4-hour time, and this is not quite giving us contraction, right? This means that in some type of time frame towards that downside, we probably mean reverted from this area to this area here. Remember, your contraction zone or expansion zone to the 50% is usually a mean reversion, right? Okay, let's go to the 6-hour time frame and see what's up. So 6-hour time frame, Amazon still looks like it's expanding with an upside pivot in bullish control zone, right? 8-hour time frame on this, giving us a nice bullish push here in the gravitational zone, and it feels like it's consolidating, but it still wants to maybe consider breaking that critical contraction area. What about 12-hour? Wow. 12-hour is giving us a little bit of a fired signal. Not quite it's diverging though here, right? So not quite there, but still with an upside pivot. Okay, I think that's enough information to tell us that there is an upside coming up. So how long did the downside last, right? Let's see how long that lasted. So it looks like 3 to 4 hours could have been enough of a downside here. Let's look at the 6-hour. Does it have kinks there? No, the 6-hour looks pretty healthy towards that upside posture. And so, yeah, I would say, mathematically speaking, let's observe your ATR here on a 3 to 4 hour time frame, right? Let's pull up the data cells and see what's up. 4-hour time frame giving us a max downside of 178, and the 3-hour time frame is giving us a max downside of about 35, right? So 35 to about 78 is the distance that we're getting. Simply, guys, simply like this. Mark it from your Euro Open, right? So that's going to be your hourly bar. This is your hourly bar, right? Let's see. Euro Open would be right here. So we're going to have to make some assumptions here. Let's just say that Euro opened. Let's say that Euro opened up here somewhere, right? Because it typically goes to some weird resistance or something. And seeing that we were already, wait, hold on. I want to see the pivots in the 5-minute and 10-minute. Yeah, okay, so we had downside pivots. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that we're going to open up at, man, I want to say downside. I want to say that we're going to open up Euro like here at 187.14 at the dead cat target. I'm not certain, right? So I'm going to say either that, right? We're going to open up at 187.55 or opening up Euro at around 187.14. I may be entirely wrong. It doesn't matter, right? 10 minutes was pivoting up, right? So 10-minute upside. So the 10-minute time frame on me, we got expansion with downside. I think I gotta say here. So I think we're going to open up here right where we are, or we're going to open up at the dead cat target. So let's see what's up. Let's just get a little bit of a play here and find out, right? Because I think this immediate short term. No, I'm not going to press play yet. Hold on. I'm not going to press play yet. Let's go back into this. Hold on, let me undo that. 6-hour time frame. We said about 3 to 4 hours of downside, 177 to 138. If we open up at around that 187 target, that would be 186.20s. That would actually bring us down to, oh my goodness, it would bring us down to your 186.22 spot 618. I think that we're going to open up somewhere around this area here as a midpoint and continue from 2, 3, to the early market open for us would be 4 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. Eastern time. I think by that time we would be approaching the bottom side here unless it just did it right away. But I think we have around 3 to 4 hours of downside before recovery. And that 3 to 4 hour downside before recovery would be based mathematically on the 3 to 4 hour ATR pullbacks. That from that area, which could be around here at the 2.618, this zone, I think this zone would be responsible if we can even get down that low, right? I would really give merit to this zone you have here. This is very good. With the 50% landing at the 2.272 at 186.43, I would say yes. We're bouncing from this area, I think. This area we bounce, potential rejection and continuation to the upside. And we're seeing upside continuation. 12-hour. How's that daily candle? Daily candle is looking like it's got bearish, right? That looks like a shooting star for me. Got to watch out with that. And the daily candle is Well, those are the targets right there, right? 186, 186.30. Yeah, I feel like we're just trying to close this gap and continue. All right. So if that's the case, let's go back to the 15-minute time frame and play. So yeah, I think we're going beyond. We're going up, and that would be supporting from the zone that you just talked about. And your thesis is right there, right? So let's see. Reminder of the time frames up to let's see. 184.36. Oh, you were already on that target too. The 4 spot 272. Let me see where that is. I see. I see. Because it was confluent to the potential targets of the head and shoulders. There's reasoning behind that. I'm backing your thesis up too. I am, because this is also an ascending broadening wedge with a take profit of this area here. So I see it, but because of the earlier time frames, I also see a bear trap. And wait. When was Amazon earnings? Did this have earnings recently? I'm not sure when the Amazon earnings were. Let me know, team. Thursday. So this was last Friday. Oh, hold on. That changes the dynamic of everything. Hold on. Okay. All right. So the last earnings report was here. Dipped down, and from that time, we've been creating a series of higher highs and higher lows. If we're looking at some type of signal here using, yeah, this is a, there's a little more, there's a little more beyond this, right? So I'm saying this because the bearish channel may not be done. So this would be potentially your channel around here, right? So this is a critical point to me. If you're sitting here on test number 2, and it seems like you're trying to validate some type of a break here. It feels like you're breaking below, and now you're testing inside. You're testing here the resistances. That feels like you're about to fall all the way to your 5-month or lower, but you're also not at the test that you need. You're just at test number 1 here. This would be your test. This would be your validated 1, 2, 3, 4 tests of your support. You're in a channel here. So that channel, this is a potential fake out. This is a huge false breakdown here. This would bring us up into this zone here. Next targets for me, if I'm observing here a larger time, I'm thinking that this is going to go up towards about 190. Hold on. Hold on. I can't see it. I need to see it. One first zone for take profit is 190 to 190. First zone for take profit. 189.95 to about 190.153. Following 190.53 would be a critical resistance back test. Your a 190 zone as a $10 break. That $10 break validates and continues towards the upside to eventually take profit at this gap here, which could be 193 to about 195.39. I believe that this could be a critical zone for us to observe as a major high. And it feels like this is just a fake out right now. This is leading towards a continuation towards the upside to where eventually I believe we would reach above $200 on Amazon. And it's looking actually pretty damn strong. So let's go back to the 15-minute time frame. What's up, Hydra? Good to see you there. And let's see what happened here, right? Because I am actually curious. So fake out. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is your break from your channel, right? And this is your retest here. We're coming right, but it feels like we're trying to reclaim it, and also noticing that the channel only has a second test. I feel like it wants to go back up to test 3 up there somewhere. So if that's the case, I think this is an immediate short-term time frame false breakdown. Very, very limited downside to this 186, if it's even possible. And then we would get that continuation towards that upside, like we were saying, right? Of course, it's going to take a lot of, I'm not going to break it down entirely like this, but overall take profit, I think beyond the 190, which was, or 189.15, which was my initial take profit, I think this would be the area to kind of look out for. And I know I'm moving about 3 days ahead or whatever days ahead on this, but I kind of have to put it in that term there because of the amount of data being gathered here. Now, if there's another, this is a really speculative way, but if there's another way to kind of validate your target, this would have been it right here. I see the way that you could have been right on this, even at this point right here. Like those are very, very right, and that's what leads me to believe that this is even more of a bear trap than what we thought initially. Right? So let's go ahead and press play now and see what happened to price for Amazon from that day. Wow. Immediate short-term time frame. We came down over here into your initial support, right? And we were thinking that it could have been at the dead cat target, maybe even further downside into this area here, right? But we got that short-term downside push all the way towards that upside. We're leading already a very, very good price direction on yours, even though that we may have, even you and me have overshot the downside, right? So let's go ahead and press play even still and see what happens here into the days, right? Is there further downside at all? Or are we validating supports right here? Because this looks like an incredible area to validate before continuation. Maybe a potential wick to the downside, sure, whatever that is. Let's just find out, right? Dead cat bounce, a little bit of further downside on that, or no? Fake out. Oh, that was Euro. Okay. There you go. Take profit 1. Nice. Take profit 2. Tapped it. Let's go. What day are we in? Wednesday, October 31st here. Wow. All right, earnings is coming up. Damn. Holy crap, bro. We hit your bottom target here. Wrong timing, but we definitely hit it. And bam, this thing goes to the 199, right? 198.88 so far. There you go, 200, and we were talking about a potential 201 eventual hitting, right? We're at $200.56. I don't know that we're going to hit the 201, but that's our max top side that we were talking about, right? Very cool, man. Very, very cool. All right. So, I guess the note to take here is that no, dude, this was it's not about being graded as a digit like that. It's not like that. I think that we did an amazing job here with the upside potentials, right? We knew that this was going to go up. We already felt it, but we had immediate short-term downside with signals. I talked about a potential bear trap though, so I already overextended the downside. So this is telling me, alongside with you, that there could be we're probably a little too strong on one bias, right? So maybe we need to watch a little bit closer what we have, right? And continue sharpening our edge. Maybe we're a little too bearish or a little too bullish, but whatever it is, I think we're on the right path. This was a great effort, brother. I'm not gonna put it down whatsoever, not for 1 second. Good job, man. What say you, team? What do you guys think of on this one? You got it, my brother. I think this was a crazy effort, man. This was tough. All right. I agree, man. So Sherlock, you're next, brother. Let's go ahead and take a look at Yeah, why don't we go ahead and take a look at your NVIDIA thesis here? And we were looking at this from well, let me just go ahead and come back into this zone here, right? So let's just start it off from whatever this is, and you were from the Euro Open, right? So we're thinking here potential Euro Open. Torino, that was pretty damn cool. I gotta admit, man. So we were talking about potential upside here, right? Into the Euro Open, then potential rejection from this point. Okay, I like it a lot. I like it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and please don't mind me when I do things like this. It's just sometimes I really would like to carry a lot less of volume because I want to make sure that I can see the candles when they do approach those areas there, right? So I'm going to keep here just a little bit of volume in there. And I'll maintain your color profile here because I obviously see that this would be your area for buy-in. This would be your area for sell. You have your 4-hour 50% retrace. You have your daily 50% prior bar and your weekly for percent 50% prior bar too. I see it. Very, very organized chart, and I see your thesis as well, right? So your overall bearish sentiment. I'm saying you are overall bearish sentiment, so I like it. Already looking like I certainly agree, right? So if we can go ahead and now focus on your trend line, because I want to know how it is that you're coming up with that trend line, right? So you have notes mainly bears, right? Okay, cool. So let me get rid of the stochastic momentum indicator and take a look at what you have here. Okay, so you're kind of focusing on this large regression, which is absolutely understandable. Sometimes here, when you are a little bit away from this regression here, like for example, price at the current moment, I can't really tell where it is. Let me see where it is. Price is, where the heck is price? Let me get rid of all the drawings. Okay, so price is here at 135.38, right? So 135.38 is the current price. Yeah, when we're a little bit of a distance away from this zone here, you got to watch out, right? But I still see the potentials of a dead cat bounce even here, right? So this to me could be a dead cat with following downside into that area. So maybe there is a chance to get up there, but I feel like there could be some type of a trap. This is a heavy support, and I definitely agree with your support down here as well, right? Okay, Stu, then we still have, are you able to make it on Monday? Maybe we can review it there as well. And I freaking love it, man. But of course, you know what? I feel like we may have to extend our review sessions here, and I may have to actually put off our investment strategy into the next week, so then we could push further into strategies, right? We may be adding another 2 to 3 weeks of strategies. What do you guys say? What say you? So we can focus here on the sharpening of ourselves, because sharpening one means sharpening all the others. Okay, nice. I love it, team. I love it so much, guys. I want to be here as much as I can for you. Ian, I got you, buddy. Okay, so yeah, let's continue, guys, because this is the notes for one person to another, I think, are great. You know, yeah, you know what? I think these peer reviews, as a public thing, would be absolutely useful. I think I used to learn when somebody would go over charts from somebody else. Somebody would pay $5 on YouTube and say, "Go over my chart," go over it with me, and then I would love watching those sessions with some of my favorite traders, and I would just see their mistakes or see where they can improve, right? And I felt like that was amazing. So let's continue on with the analysis here. Immediate short-term time frame on NVIDIA, right? Looking like we have still some further downside. So your initial feeling on this, I felt like maybe a little bullish. Maybe you were already at that resistance level here, but the downside I definitely agree with. So we have downside on the 5-minute, cascading into the 10, maybe downside into arguably the 15. Let's see the 30. As long as I have any type of curvature, right? As long as I have any type of curvature, I'm counting it. So, and this too, the kinks, right? So hourly time frame worth of downside. Let's see, and maybe a bi-hourly, but that feels pretty nice. Okay, so we have apparently here about an hour's worth of downside, right? So let me go ahead and put up the data cells here and see what's up, right? So we have a current time frame ATR on the hourly that would be about $1.11. Current price being 135.38, taking us down to roughly around 134.20s, something like that. So what's 134.20? Well, the 134.20 appears. I'm sorry. Yeah, 134. Would it be minus the 138? Where's the price? Yeah, 135. So 134.20 would be right at around your just under your 50% prior day, and also in between your 4 hour 50%. Okay, so yeah, it would be a zone in here. And then let's see how far of an upside you have. So we want to identify how much downside we have in the immediate short term before it just gives up and we have too much upside too. Because I don't see that cascading into the downside. That effort that you have from the 5, 10, and 15, right? This downside here does not appear to be super strong. We don't have critical expansion on the downside pivots, right? So I can't say that this downside from the 10-minute is going to be so strong that it's going to bleed into the 15, into the 30, into the hourly, into the 2 hour. I can't say that, right? So I'm saying that this is a temporary downside before upside. So, and it looks like we have only about an hour's worth. So now where's the continuation though? Where's the expansion with upside? 3 hour time frame looking okay. Okay, we're getting some nice signals here on that 4 hour time frame with oversold conditions and an upside pivot. We're getting a break of expansion here. We're getting a break of contraction into expansion with an upside bias on a 6 hour. And same situation with the 8 hour time frame, bro. This is I'm feeling here that this is a very limited downside before us continuing to the upside. I see your thesis already. You're good. And I definitely see a breakout out of the trend too. Okay. So let's 136.52. So yeah, if we're talking about immediate short term downside on this, then it's very weak and it's very, very much limited, right? So $1 takes us down to we said the hourly time frame, right? So $1.11. That would take us, we said potentially a 2 hour downside, 163. So 163, I think 133s, 130, just right around there, right? So I feel like it may be wanting to test this topside zone where you're saying, or test let me see, historically speaking, what else there could be in the way there. From that, this is where you bring up your weekly, even though you're talking about immediate short term, like immediate. So if there is something relevant, then we have to take that into account. 135.40 is your price, right? So I would say right about here. Nope. Right this zone here, 134.86. To about 132.96. Maybe. So let's go, and then this would bounce to the upside. And if we have how much upside did we have in this from that point? Oh, damn. Okay, so 8 hours worth, 12 hours worth. And the 12 hour, man, this is expanding with a downside on the daily, but I feel like the immediate short term may turn this around real quick. All right, so we have around $3 potentially cascading into $4.68. Immediate short term downside. I'm thinking that we have supports between the daily 50% and just under your 4 hour 50%, 132.96 to about 134.83, right? This area here, I don't know that we can get all the way down to this zone here. It feels like a bear trap as well. So this upside on the daily, if it does shift, then do we have continuation into larger time frames? Is it just a temporary, like a moment? I mean, sort of. I want to say that my top side is around $5, right? I want, did it really? I want to say that my upside is around $5. So immediate short-term time frame downside to this area here, we may open up the day at around 135 or 134.90s, right? So let's just say that we open up to 35. The next day, I believe there could be a continuation towards the upside. I would actually say the next day would be closer to this zone up here. I would say anywhere between 139.59 to about 140.89. Following the upside here, I think this can go to maybe 143-ish. That would be 30. Yeah, I would say maybe your 140, 143 zone. That could be an area of high interest. Let's take a look at your 15-minute time frame. Press play on this and see how this kind of worked out. Support's on the white zone, right? And very similar to your areas too, brother, except that I don't know that we can go all the way down there. This may be a little bit of a bear trap. So let's press play and see how it works out. Here we go. Good stuff. All right, so we got this support area. Very nice. And you also saw that too, right? And you saw the immediate short-term potential reversion bear trap in line. And this thing continued towards the upside. And now we're at the targets of about, it almost hit 140. So 139, yeah, brother, we did pretty good, right? We were talking about your targets of about, we literally spoke of your targets in here. So I love it, man. I think you had excellent discretion in here. Maybe a little bit too bearish on your continuation to the downside. I would say that we can sharpen up our abilities using the cast or the domino effect within the immediate short-term mathematical downsides, right? So the more we do this, the more that we practice it, the better and better that we will get. Guys, I get it wrong often. You know, I get it wrong often, and you are too, and every one of us will. But the better we practice price action like this, the better we'll be able to read it intraday, because we are reading it here where no one else reads it, right? So this is really training under the rain. This is training under a hot ass day in the rain, full gear, full backpack, and running uphill in mud, right? So let's make sure that we can continue our abilities in this way. And I would say this is a great effort, Sherlock. This was amazing, my brother. Congratulations on your chart. You nailed a bunch of that. What say you, team? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Sherlock's chart here? I felt that it was pretty damn good myself. You know, I think that it has high merit. I agree, Ian. But good stuff, my brother. Very good stuff on this, dude. And you know what? I think let me see. And Buzzman, I know you were up there too, right? You got it, my dude. And yeah, continue sharpening that up. Let's see how well we can do this, right? And Buzzman, you also gave me your link. Oh yeah, you gave me a link. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and shift our attention here real quick to the Wolf, right? Good stuff, man. Wolf is always one of those freaking tickers, man, that you know, will tend to hand you your butt. Wolf is a tough one, man. I gotta say, Wolf is certainly not an easy one, right? It's Wolf is one of those tickers that'll just kill you, man. So all good on this. All right, so let's go ahead and now pull up your thesis here and see what's up, right? So we have some. Are these indicators? Oh, right. I'm sorry, but we have to do the copy and do. This is for. You said it was for Wolf, right? 30-minute time frame for, okay, good. I'm going to do Wolf, and we're going to do Buzzman. Okay. And let me get rid of the prior chart here and see what's up with this, right? Here we go. I don't know what those are, but I'm going to get rid of them. And also these. So Wolf, what was the date? Was it right here, bro? On the October 28th? October 28th, right? My lower targets finally hit days later. Okay, cool. So let's, without any looks or anything, let's just go down here and see what's up at around this zone here. So 30-minute time frame is where you were talking about, right? And your forecast here was that we would drop Now yeah, I see this as continuing to drop too. The dead cat bounce targets would be right around in here. Not, and further continuation. Of course, never focus on the target of the psychological formation, right? So if this does have high merit, then I mean it does look like it, right? It has a pretty nice support zone right here. It's also considerable because it is the 50% of this entire range where your target is for a bounce. I have to agree with that downside, bro. So now yeah, so why don't we just take a look at volatility and momentum, right? So don't mind me here, but I may actually just bring them up. I don't know whether or not loading there, but it's okay. I assume that you do have them there. So volatility heat map, let's bring this one up. Let's put it on top. And I'm going to just get rid of these because they're not really showing. And I'll bring up stochastic momentum too, right? Stochastic momentum down here. We have the volatility heat map already up there. So looking good. Okay. Let's see how the day closed. Day on this is closing at, man, it's looking like a freaking bull flag. That's looking like it wants upside. Okay, got it. All right, so let's see. Do we have upside with? Yeah. Oh man, the day could be corrected because of the green bar that just happened. So 30-minute time frame is where you're saying that we could drop into this zone here. So why don't we go ahead and put up data cells and see how much downside we have. So we have about 10 cents of downside. Let me see how much more downside we have. Hourly time frame downside, bi-hourly time frame downside, bleeding into the 3 and to the 4, and it looks like the 4-hour time frame may not get any of that downside, right? Because we're not expanding with downside on any of those time frames. We're not we're not going upward on volatility. Limited short-term time frame downside on this. Enough to have about 3 hours worth of downside. Okay, so 3 hours worth of downside alongside the math here would be around 28.25 cents. So 28 cents from 628. Let's just say that we did open up there on the euro, but I guess we have to see how much. Okay, euro potential upside with expansion. Limited upside on a 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame would mean that we are at, let's see, $6.33. What's the ATR? 2 cents. 33, 34, 35. Yeah, we're coming up to $6.36 as a potential resistance first. I think we open up. I don't know how we're going to open up, but I think we open up around here-ish before continuing towards the downside, where we identified a 3 hours worth of downside of around 28 cents. So let's go ahead and bring this down. You had a bunch of notes in the screen. Okay. So let me I want to read them, but then also, what if I'm biased by you? Like, compare it to me, and then I want to see your notes afterward. If we have enough downside here for 28 cents, then we're talking about potentially testing your $6 target. Holy crap. I also don't feel that we have enough downside for that. Dropping all the way to, let me see. 28 cents, right? That's dropping to your $6. Why wouldn't we drop there? So let's find out why we wouldn't drop to $6. Well, that's a reason to drop there. Let's see, the 5-day. There's 1. And there's 2. This area here and this area, this zone, with a 50% marked at this area here. So this would be a very strong reason to not pull back all the way that area there. So let's just say that would be your zone, right? And I didn't even look at the daily because the daily may, oh yeah, I forgot. Yes, I did. So let's go back to the 30-minute time frame and see what's up. Oh, so it gapped down, right? So it gapped down from the day into this area here. 28 cents of downside would be yeah, this is a very limited day. It already did its downside and it's overextending right now. I have to say, dude, that this is, I think you're right. I think you are right here. We're probably dropping down so short time frame. This is a dead cat bounce with the target into this zone right here. And how much upside do we have? Yeah. Yeah, this is a very immediate short term downside. We have expansion, we have massive expansion with upside in gravitation here, man. That's crazy. 5-day time frame upside with expansion, weekly time frame upside with expansion. So yeah, that looks fucking extremely good actually. This is getting us about $2 of upside here, maybe. Let me see the bi-monthly of almost $4. Yeah, I think this would be this. Yeah, you're like here. That would be what I'm looking for. I'm actually seeing a potential. Let's see, six. Where are we? 652, 7, 8, 9, potentially 10. Get the hell out of here. It's got to. I think the weekly close would give us that top side. That would be an equivalence of around $1. So 6. Yeah, I would think this is my resistance here with you. I have to say that 730 to about 792 would give me the biggest. And it's headed for $10 maybe. So let's see how that happens. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame, and I agree with most of what you're saying here. Right. This is very cool, man. This is very cool. Good thesis, bro. A little challenging, but I will say that this is I agree with the immediate short-term downside. I agree with the regression. I also got to say that this zone here will present us a lot of resistance, just like you're saying. Top of my area here is your area. The bottom of my area is your area, based on the 5-day prior bar retraces and their zones, right? I think that this would continue towards the upside here. Let's see. And you're saying here that you're and my high target bull flag was about 790, 792. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking here, man, 730, 760 is $8. That's your target based on math. Going up a month's worth of upside with expansion, that's not giving up. Right. So at some point I have to stop. So I'm thinking here that the average true range on like $4, facing that $10, $11 target. I think that would be maybe into the following weeks, maybe next week or the following week, so we got to see about that first. But for now, I think that you have a great target here. Maybe a little overshooting. I don't know, but it feels like we're about to bounce towards the upside and continue all the way up to the $7, $8 targets. Let's see how this happens, right? Let's press play and see what's up, right? So here we go. Price action. We got the entry, right? We were talking about potential. Oh my God, there we go, and we hit all the way to $7.28, right? This is now coming into Tuesday, dropping into that zone there. It doesn't matter what happened here, is that the thesis was proved right. We had 2 zones of entry into this area here, split the between, right? We already had potential entry here. So we already had risk on from this point here, and we were talking about limited short term, not even sure that we could reach all the way down to this area I said before we press play, and this thing is likely to head towards the $7 to $8 zone the next day, thus hitting a $7.30 perfectly on the penny, right? So very, 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 very impressive chart here, brother. I would have done and said exactly as you did, and just with the only difference of a potential bear trap at this point here, right? So watch out with your overextension on your downsides. Make sure not to be overly bearish, not to be overly bullish, and then the rest will play out. Pressing play on this and continuing on this, yeah, looking like we still have upside pressure on this. And then let's see, man. Very, very cool stuff. But I did like this target. I immediately said it like, yep, this is the target here, man. So no problem, man. So it hit 621. Holy crap. So yeah, these levels here, that's why I'm saying not to be overly bullish or overly bearish, right? We need to make sure that we can, nail what's closer to our proximity right now. So now what I'm going to do is actually just have you observe whatever it is that you have here as like this. Look, start putting a different thesis to this, because this is clearly descending, right? You can see here that we're very much within an ABCD strategy. This is reaccumulation, anxiety. We're getting a potential bounce here pretty soon. There could be continuation towards this upside. Now that we're well within that 50% of this diamond pennant right here, there could be the decision here to make upside or downside. So let's just be careful here, man, because you may be near a floor now. I need to observe this, and I need to rewatch it, and I need to, whatever else. But I feel like you did very good. Now remember that your notes, I had them actually kind of posted here. I didn't go over them on purpose, but I did have them over here. Well, good, brother. I think this is a good shares play as well, right? Because these miners are probably going to continue growing and growing, right? This was very, very impressive. Good job. What say you, team? What say you? What do you feel? What do you feel was up here with Buzzman's chart? Selling covered calls, good stuff. Great man saying missed class. You're selling a seed. I love you, Great man. Let's go, bro. Let's go. There we go. Let's make some cash. All right. So you're getting a great sentiment here with your chart. So I can proudly say that we are absolutely moving forward. We are getting better and better with our abilities to observe price and get us the get us the targets that we need to look for. Remember, team, find out at the end of the day, post market, right? At post market, find out if we can have enough downside to identify the support into Euro Open, right? So whatever amount of time of downside we have, so if it says at the post market that we still have downside on the stochastic momentum indicator, that's like say on the 5-minute time frame here, it's saying that we have upside, right, with expansion. So this would be leading to the Euro Open on the next 5-minute bar, right? So we have 5 minutes worth of upside now because we have that upside and expansion. It's pushing, right? We count, not yet. We now have 5 minutes of upside into Euro Open. Now, how much upside do we have? We have potential expansion here on a 10-minute. We have 10 minutes of upside, right? 15-minute time frame. Maybe this is I feel like this is gonna get it from the push of the 5 and 10-minute. So I can say, arguably speaking, 15 minutes worth of upside. And it looks like maybe even the 30-minute gets it. I mean, this is completely contracted. It's already got a little bit of an upside bias on the EMA 3 out of the EMA 14, SMA 14. The hourly time frame, I would say that it would kind of halt right about there, right? So we have enough upside in the Euro Open worth about 30 minutes, right? So that's already giving us immediate short term. 30-minute time frame, 10 seconds worth, 620 going up to that 630 level, and 630 just so happens to be this resistance here. We have some resistance up here at 628, right? Look at that. It's mathematically speaking to us. So that means that we could, if I were to guess here, we would do that 628, 630 zone, pull back into this inflection area here around a 610, which is going to display to us on a downside here. So it looks like we still have 2 hours worth of downside, 3 hours worth of downside. It's pivoting there, okay? So let's see, 4 hours worth of downside, yep, with expansion, by the way. So 6 hours worth of downside, a little bit, let's see, 8 hours worth, yeah, 8 hours worth. We have a 12 hours worth daily, by daily, and I would say about 3 days, 2 to 3 days of downside. Let's just say that this would give us math of about 85 cents sitting from price action at, where are we, 620? 620 minus the 85 cents. Yeah, you know what? If we can face the bottom side of this inflection zone here, I think that would be pretty much it, right? So we're talking about 577, $5.80. We're talking about inflection. 572 down here to about $5.85. I believe that this would be the area here for us to face the next support zone, right? And that you're being told here by, simply speaking, you're being told by a dead cat bounce here, omit the FOMO candles. Do not use those, right? Use the ones that have the biggest amount of relevance to your price, right? You can see here that not everything moves that drastic, but of course we have to take it into account. Putting that dead cat bounce target towards the downside takes us to where? It takes us to $5.81, just like what we were talking about, right? So psychological reason to break down, otherwise known as a potential bear trap before, this is a false breakdown, before actually reaccumulating an upside. So let's just be careful with this, okay? Buzzman, yeah, sure, of course, brother. So, and yeah, I can always do that, my dude. In fact, uh, here you go, buddy. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right here for you. So, yeah. So remember that I kind of disabled some of your folders here for the drawings that you had in order for me to make some space on this one. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. I love it. I know, team, that we've like completely ran out of time here. My apologies on that. But do we have anyone that I didn't go over that can be here on Monday, or we continue our reviews into next Saturday? Because I'm going to continue doing reviews on Monday's strategy session. So, but if we don't have enough people here to join the Monday strategies review, then let's continue on the reviews into next Saturday, and then see about getting ourselves into the day-to-day price action. We already did moment by moment, right? I want to take you guys into day by day, and those day by days would probably start turning into week by week, introducing ourselves a passive investment strategy towards whatever ticker that we may be observing, right? So I do think that we have some pretty good I want to say that, we talked about an 12 to 14 week program here. We're on week 10. I feel like this is going to end up being like a 16 week program, guys. 15, 16, right? If you don't mind, of course, I want to be able to express as much time with you as possible. Ian, you and I are going to have to talk a little bit in private, because I feel like I have the key for you. More ARCa for the money. That's right, Day. I love you guys so much. Please remember, team, that I am prepping the executions stage. So if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and let me know that you want to continue on to executions, because this is the prep right here. What we're observing in the charts right now, this is the preparation for the strategy that we're going to use to execute the play, right? So that's going to lead into another whole damn deal, man. So let's go ahead and make sure that we can get you guys enrolled into that as soon as possible. And also for the strategies, I'm also getting more strategy students for strategies 2, which I'm also going to openly invite you guys to come with, right? So please show up, restart the strategies, just watch it with me, watch it with the original students or the new students that come in, see how their reactions are, use psychology like that, right, team? We want to know how people react to things like this, and we want to know what they attach to. We want to know what they say, and that's, I believe, a lot of my students that observe these videos, even afterward, they have a complete edge, right? They have a complete edge here, and it makes great. So I think, so yeah, I want to go ahead and, you know what? Let's do that. Let's start the review process. Now, Jen, I can go over yours. I can go over yours either in private, or we can go over it together on Saturday next week. It's up to you. You let me know. So, but I wanna make sure that we can focus the attention as much as we can into the strategists here, right? So you've signed up for the next 2 programs, but count me for anything else you may plan. I am addicted. Day, I love you so much, my brother. I definitely have you in for executions and following the next the following mentorship after executions would be psychology, right? So then we were gonna go over the psychological positioning for our biases to execute the strategy, right? So that's I believe it's critical too. And let's see, Buzzman saying, I still am signing up for the next class. I just need a submit payment. Buzzman, I love you, my brother. Whenever you can, my dude, let's go ahead and get that done. I will sign you up. I will send you guys the welcome packages and everything else. But I think that we should probably, not bleed over our time here. I've already bled into your questioning time here. So, but I love you guys so much. So, any questions, please go ahead and continue putting them there. So Jen saying, same, I want to take all the classes. Keep mailing me new ones. I love you, Jen. Thank you. And please remember, guys, that in order for me to know that you are interested, just send me the to the same email where we've been talking, right? So arcmasterscourse@gmail.com, and then I will send you over all the details. So the executions class would be starting, I would say, let's take a week off, maybe 2 weeks at the most here. We have from strategies here, right? And then we would start right away. So we are looking at what, just a little over a month out. And then we're good to go. So Hydra, don't you worry about a thing, my brother. If you are ready to take that step, I'm gonna go ahead and put you down for it, and let's move on, and we'll worry about the rest later, right? So Buzzman saying, I can't believe I started my education journey with you almost a year ago. Uploaded my first homework assignment. Let's see, November 15th, 2023. Holy shit, Batman. Let's see. All I understood was green candle good and red candle bad. I only knew and understood I could only bet up when I saw green candles. My goodness, man. I believe that bears were just being bad traders and dogs not. Oh my goodness, man. I understand there was universal handshaking and slapping of asses going on. You still remember my words, man. So I mean, that's literally all I knew, ARCa. Holy shit, man. I can say with certainty I joined the winning team. Thank you, and thank you, ARCa. I will be forever grateful and remain humble. I love you so much, dude. Thank you for sharing those words here, man. I'm sure that the other master students will also feel that eventually, man. I do have, you know, I do have I do have you know, students from track one still with me, you know, Sebastian being one of them. Jen is OG too. She's been here for a while, man. You know, Dea's OG, Destiny's OG. Like, so you guys know, man. You guys already know. So I love it. And of course, Ian, my bro, has been here with me since day one as well. And not even to mention the people that have always believed in this program, right? Like, for example, Options, you know, he's literally been here since day, like, zero, right? He's always been around. And he's never, if I can say things with certainty, I've needed him, you know. I can't say that he's ever needed me, you know. So I'm incredibly grateful for everyone that we have in the team, and giving us their time and their you know, their abilities. This is great. 800 cash now, dial it. But team, I appreciate you guys so much. And if we don't have any more questions and stuff, I'd love you, Ian, buddy. But you and I have to share some words. And I think that let me know your availability. You text me, okay? Like, you text me like immediately after this. All right, dude. So Option saying everything he teaches you guys is legit. I can testify that from experience. He is the man. Keep the faith, guys. You soon will all be millionaires. Let's go, my dude. That's super kind of you to share with the team. And I agree, man. I agree. I see my future millionaires, man, as we go deeper and deeper into the lectures. You're seeing the groups, guys. Look at the group right now, right? Of course, a few people already left because, you know, we had to you have work, and we have lives to take care of too, right? I want to be too rich. That's right, buddy. So, but the lectures, the groups are going to get smaller and smaller as we get into the more and more advanced topics, and that's not because of it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because they're giving up, right? It could be of financial reasons. It could be for timing. It could be anything, guys. It could be really anything. Right. So, but this is typically what happens, right? It usually starts off with a huge beginner's class, and then it starts to consolidate or compress, right? It gets down to a minimal, but that's how I know that I have my true traders, right? That's like, I see you guys, like, I mean, not to burst anything and not to be so cheesy here, but there's going to be a group that I'm going to start with. It's going to be called the Millionaires Club, right? And the Millionaires Club is going to turn into the Billionaires Club. So it's really, you know, kind of concentrating who we are as traders and as participants in the market and in this space, right? So you're going to notice that you already saw them the whole way. You already saw who those individuals were. You know, and this is like a good example here. For those of you who are here right now, you are the example of who that may be, you know? And I can't wait. I can't wait to be a part of it, you know? So, and I can't wait for you to be a part of it. Like, I talk about it like I'm going to be invited to a group, you know, because I want to be a part of that. You know, it's like kids in a playground. Like, I want to be with the cool kids, right? So here we are. We're hanging out, and everybody wants to be in strategies with us. You know, everybody wants to be in executions, but it takes a different mind. It takes a different, you know, it just takes a different kind of person. You guys, I can say clearly that you guys are built different, you know, and it takes that kind of attitude, and it takes that kind of a go get it to make it in this industry, team, because it does require great sacrifice. It requires a great amount of attention and discipline, and mostly a great shift in your psychology, right? This is going to change the person who you are presently, and you have to be able to embrace that change because it's going to be for the better. Your kids and your wives and your husbands and your families and friends and family, everyone will benefit from the new you, right? This, you have to allow it to bring the better person out of you, right? A patient person, a person who doesn't really, a person who doesn't spend too much time on a negative subject and realizes that that's the person who I was before, so now the patience that the trade is introducing to you is going to be ever so much fulfilling towards your existing family or a new family or whatever else. But also your social life, right? Because oftentimes you'll know that people will probably talk about you, and they'll know that you're that guy, or you're actually you're that girl that can do this in the markets. And who can do that? Nobody really knows. So Happy Dorito is saying this assignment helped me a lot in figuring out how much work I need and how lost-ish I am, but I enjoyed the shit out of it, dude. Yes, and you know what? We only get better and better with repetition, right? So just like I've said before, like in a gym, man, you don't want to go pick up the 500-pound dumbbells, right? You're going to do like one shot, one and done, right? So no, you want to make sure to get you got to get the lighter ones, right? So you can put reps in, feel the burn over time, and you want to do it with posture, right? So you don't want to do it like slacking, or you don't want to do it like kind of bending your arm in a weird way so you can kind of forcefully make it go up because it's too heavy. None of that, having the strategy, having the posture and doing it the right way and executing it the right way with the right attitude is the way you're going to be able to pick up that dumbbell, right? So it's like anything else, team. It really is like anything else. But you did it 3 times. I love it, man. I love it. So now imagine this, right? Remember every single time that somebody says, ARCa, take a look at this. ARCa, look at Wolf. ARCa, look at Mara, right? ARCa, look at NVIDIA. Wait, did we go over Tesla already? Wait, hold on just a second. Did he go over MSTR? Did we do this? Did we do that? So every single time that we do this, that you ask me, I'm doing this. What I just showed you here, what we're reviewing, I do it every single time. And I will remind you of this, guys. There was a point for about 2 years straight, a year and a half to 2 years straight, where I would do what was called a ticker picker, right? So that ticker picker was a way for me to express to people that I had the ability to look at price in a certain way, right? So I daily, right? Except for Saturdays, I would put together the ticker picker and I would go over, I would say anywhere between 14 to 20 tickers every day, not including the ones that I was looking at on myself in the morning. So 14 to 20 tickers daily for 2 years straight. So that kind of conditioning and doing exactly what I'm showing you here. I know that what I'm showing you here appears to be like an enormous amount of steps, right? So much hustle, Cheche. Good Lord. So many steps to this, but I gotta tell you this, right? At one point, you're not gonna need to go to the daily or the weekly or the monthly because you already see it in the freaking 4-hour. I've told you guys so many times that, wait. Stochastic momentum is appearing like this on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. We're just closing the 4 hour and we're sitting at this price right here. I think this is a spinning top dojo in a daily or a weekly. And we are on one. Yeah, Cheche, I gotta tell you, man, it's because you just kind of like, you see the average of like how many candles it takes, it's just like how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll? How many candles does it take to get to the daily? On an hourly, how many, and you start to see it and you get used to how many candles there are displayed, right? And you start to see that your 15-minute structure has this certain range on a day, and then you can see the day within that entire day, and then you see where the hourlies could be. I don't even know how to explain it, but it will just naturally happen to the team and to each and every individual one of you guys, right? So Jen saying I do exercise many times a day, every single day, without fail. And that's I've actually expressed that to the team, that I've been conditioning you a little bit earlier than the strategy students, right? So Option saying, in fact, you see they only got a push with one bank. So guys, that's Options talking about SMCI. I gotta say, it is not done. that is going to be a massive play, and we're already deep. We're already in the money. Good stuff, team. So I think NVIDIA will be at 200 this time next year. I agree, and that strength is incredible into that. But let's see. But yeah, you guys, yeah, I know that I see it in you. I think that you guys are going to be able to observe price like that. So I can't tell you that I'm going to get you there as fast as I did, because guys, you know, it's just I didn't have a job. I lost 2 jobs, right? So I didn't have anything. So I had to make sure that this one thing was going to do it. And it was the greatest decision ever, you know, being introduced to the trade by my brother, by some friends, like all that was just, it was the biggest blessing of my life, you know. it was the biggest gift that I could receive from anyone, you know, and it came directly from my family. So what the fuck am I going to complain about? This is amazing. You know what I mean? And hopefully I can use it to pay it forward to my family too, and to the rest of the team, and whomever else that decides to be part of the buzz, or part of the bandwagon, right? So I think that there is a way to expedite. You know, there is a way to expedite. Being that I've had so many hours in the trade, I think that now, you know, approaching 18,000 hours of work, you can see how you can kind of like, well, don't focus on this. This maybe this is a speculative strategy. Don't use that. Like, let's use this, let's use that, and structure it in this manner. And then you just expedited your thing by 2,000 hours, you know? So there are ways, but nothing to do it from one day to another, right? Because we still need, no matter what, we still need the ability to see price, to see how it's doing against targets in its historical values, right? We still need to be able to see those critical resistances, those critical supports, right? Those major pivots are still things that we would, you know, like resistances like this, right? Supports like this, we would still benefit from seeing things like this, and using our imaginations to put together a larger perspective, right? So something like this here would kind of show you that, holy crap, we were within a channel this whole time, creating what ARCa identifies as a rare breakout, right? Because this is a bearish channel, you know? So if we have the ability to see things like this, it's just, everything has a cause and an effect, right? So like this target that this thing hit here, well, that was a huge validation of this area here, right? And then you see how everything starts to kind of rhyme. You see how things just connect to each other, you know, more and more and more and more, right? And this is it's just a way, guys. It's just another way to observe things, right? Just look at every single candle, every single valley that we drop and increase. This is the collective effort of us, right? This is us being super greedy. This is us being super fearful. We have just like things go, guys. Things go up and down, right? The waves go up and down, right? So and I will say, when you're focusing on pivots, and especially if you're coming down to a pivot as support, what was that pivot responsible for? How likely is it that we would bounce from this area? Well, this here at 327 dropped all the way down to 124. So that's pretty fucking sensational, right? So we would, you know, probably not ignore something like that, right? Don't ignore this, right? So we got to see how strong those moves were from those bounces, right? So if this was a strong support that was responsible for all that, then bet your ass that the bounce from here would be pretty sensational too. Well, look at this. It went from 325 all the way to freaking 513. That's extremely amazing, right? So, oh my goodness, man. So yeah, team, just know that I hope to continue displaying here the best information that I possibly could have, right? But I love you all. I love you all dearly, and I want you to become the best traders that you could become, for our families, for our friends, for our kids, and for everything else, right? But keep on coming with the questions, guys. If we don't have any more questions, let's get to our weekend. Let's hang out. Let's relax, because we are back at it again tomorrow at the market prep, right? We have some things to go over. We still have SMCI to go over. Microsoft doing real good, and we'll see how more of a downside thesis we have based on all those tickers. I think we're doing real good. But yeah, you guys, and I will repeat again, right? Just like I did, SMCI is the second A trade that I identified this year, right? So it was brought to us by a collection of it was a collective effort. Sebastian, Options, I think Buzzman, a few of you guys were already bringing it to my attention, right? SMCI. So that was an extreme example for an A trade. And you know what? I will say that we could have had the other A trade, but I couldn't identify it like that because I didn't know so much about it. But there could have been three. It would have been MSTR. You know, it would have been it's Tesla, MSTR, and now SMCI. Like those are the ones that have been extreme plays here. I can't give like FFIE an A play because you guys know that I don't like the micro floats, and because it's a micro float, I would never give it anything above a C plus. But yeah, I think Options MSTR play and the efforts of the Tesla plays that we did both up and down, and now SMCI. Those are the very rare A trades. Catalyst driven, statistically proven, and technically supported. You know what I mean? And psychologically impaired. That's a pretty interesting combination of things there, right? FFIE was not a play. Definitely not. It was a random squeeze for no reason. It was ridiculous, dude. That was insane. Oh, man. But you did 5 cent that thing to $4, bro. Dude, when things happen that big, I can't even help but to laugh because it's just like, bro, did that really happen to us? Like, that happened. We went through that. Like, we saw that. And everybody would just then talk about it, and then, we were a part of it. Dude, Options was out there like, bro, FFIE, you're not looking, bro, FFIE. Fucking started looking, but that shit was already at like fucking 40 cents or 50 cents. He's like, I've been telling you since 5. Oh my goodness, man. Was he ever so right? That was great. And then the dump was crazy, man. But you did pick up puts at the very freaking top, man. You had a good intuition with that as well. So I gotta say, man, super impressed by the way you were observing that ticker. You did study it for a while though, you were on it. FFIE was the first video that I seen ARCas in 2022. Oh, right. I think that was around. I think it was just right after WeWork. You remember that ticker WE? Oh my goodness, man. You played it too? Okay, cool. I think Cal had played it to bankruptcy. Oh my goodness. And yeah, man. And Big Lots, you already had known that, bro. Your videos. Oh my goodness. But good stuff, team. I commend you all. I'm impressed because while you guys are telling me that this didn't follow the direction that I thought it was going to follow in, that's not the point. The point is that you had your thesis, that you had reasoning behind the continuation, and then from there, all we got to do is just sharpen our outlook, sharpen our eyes and be super bulletproof, right? As best as we can be. And that you guys are showing it to me. So that's, I was more impressed than anything else, even though the directions were wrong. Yes, it doesn't matter. It's like, you're going to see later on that it was never about being entirely right. It was actually more about being consistent. And you saw the upside generally, and all of you knew the direction already. Not one person so far has guessed the direction wrong. It's just the moment by moment is where it gets critically difficult. Because anyone can say we're going up, right? Because sure, we're going up, but what is he going to do in the interim? He got rich and left? Oh my goodness, dude. The Torito, everyone sharpening steel. I'm sharpening a pencil. Dude. We're always gonna be students to our craft, my brother. I would never, you know, I can't say that I want you guys to feel bulletproof. It's the psychology behind it. It doesn't mean that we're gonna be, because physically, literally, we're not. We can only think that. So if psychology brings us to that next stage, then let it go. And let it be there. And oh yeah, Torito. That's one thing that I will push forever. Right? It does take time, my brother. And you know what? You remind me a lot of Ian. Ian says that. He goes, he has a 50% shot. Hey, you know what, Ian? It is not zero. It is not zero. That's where we're at, buddy. We have to make sure that now dude, it takes a great deal to be at 50%, man. That's a lot. It is a lot, because you're not something out of you're not nothing out of nothing here, man. Oh man. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and close up. Let's do our thing here, man. Let's enjoy ourselves a good Saturday and get right back at it, right? I'm just saying, I am not leaving. Ian, I love you too, brother. Oh my goodness, dude. Sherlock, I'll see you later, man. Please be safe, be well. You're very welcome, dude. And Torito, before you go, let's see, or just DM me later. Figure it's poop. Torito, don't be so silly, man. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate you so much. And this is wait, for Wolf? Is it Wolf? Later, Buzzman. I love you, buddy. I love you so much, dude. Be safe, be well. So this is gonna be Torito. Actually, we'll do it like this, right? Wolf Torito. Later, Alpha. Be safe, be well. This is the first one you did. You're very welcome, Jen. I love you so much. Oh, dude, get out of here. No way. You really did this? Bro, what? Well, I mean, that was super clever, by the way. This was already declining in volume. You had a bearish divergence with volume here already. So I know this one's going to be a little hard to identify at first, right? But this was very clever that you would consider downside continuation with your bear pennant. You figured there would be a bounce here. And it's really interesting that the daily retrace worked at 50% of that range, and you supported it. And you still used it as resistance because you felt like we were going to resist somewhere here before continuing to the downside. I know that this one here was a little bit of a surprise here, but we got to see that this was kind of a ways away for you to determine what it was going to do even at this point. It's more impressive that you were able to identify that initial downside with accuracy in your targets, right? You identified the box with the target. This was more impressive than anything, dude. You identified your take profit target from the 50%, which is the pennant's 50% zone, right? And I love that you used it right in that center, and you identified your complete range using that method that we always talk about. I see that you used the 30-minute gap here. I see that you used resistances, and likely, let's see, not gonna lie, I may have screamed when I saw it that I was off by 2 cents. My wife looked at me like an idiot. It gets like that, man. I have to say that I love that you just said that. I love that you just said that, bro, because I remember when I started being right about my targets, like the way you just said. That was the moment where I wanted to fulfill the price action every day. And those are the moments where I forgot about entries. I forgot that I was doing it for money. I forgot that it was for a financial reason. It started becoming like my video game. Like, it started becoming the puzzle that I love to fucking solve every day, man. And that's what I strive from day one. Remember, day one, I asked you guys, like, you need to remember that this is not about the money. It's about the puzzle. It's about You're going against the sharpest minds in the world, and the sharpest minds in the world do not have to worry about money. They worry about being right in their craft, right? They're literally just playing a video game, right? Just like gamers do. It is the puzzle, right, Jen? We see it like that, right? We know that this is like the way to go, the way to do it. And I love that you guys are reading it, right? I love that you guys are pushing it, and I see it within your abilities. You know what I mean? I see that you guys are getting better and better every single day, and that's utter fulfillment, right? Man, because if we're not paying attention, if we're not practicing, then what the hell good are we? You know what I mean? Why are we spending any money in the first place? But man, I gotta say that I'm really impressed by you guys, and yeah, everything else, you know. I'm sorry, guys. I really like it. Like, it wasn't only, like, for me, it wasn't only to solve the puzzle of the markets. It was also to now solve the puzzle of the individual participant that's gonna play the market. So I gotta solve that person too, right? So and then it became to where we need to solve the puzzle of a group of people, right? So, good God, it became a deeper and deeper and deeper puzzle, paying it forward. Ian saying currently trying to solve, what are you saying there, brother? To solve 2 project puzzles, it bleeds over into everything. Oh man, I know that feeling, but we have to try to focus in on one, and that's some of the details that I have for you, dude. I want us to talk. And Torito saying that's why I made that plaque. Perfect quote, man. Oh, dude, bro, like it's in my backpack, and I take it everywhere. I take it everywhere to show everyone, dude, because that's like, I can't believe that you would do that, bro. Thank you so much, man. I just want to show people like how cool that is, right? I felt that it was the freaking coolest thing in the world, man. And you know, I know actually I could just here, right, take a look at this, guys. We have the it's this. Can you guys see it? Wait. I'm gonna manually do it. Hold on. Where are we? There we go. Woo! Dude. Torito coming through, man. So yeah, dude, I can't. Like, you picked it out of my words, man. I said that one day, and you just bring it out to be this like awesome plaque, dude. That's just so freaking cool, man. I love you, buddy. Thanks so much for that, man. It's just the coolest thing, man. And I show everyone, dude. I literally show everyone. I'm so proud of it. And you did that for me, bro. I love you, man. Thank you. It's just, yeah, dude. It's so humbling. It's so freaking cool. Alpha, freaking cool, right? Oh man. But yeah, thank you again, brother. And my son loves his. I'm gonna hang it up in his room and stuff. I love the Buzz Lightyear glows in the dark on the wood, man. That thing is insane. It's amazing. But very impressive work coming in here, man. Very impressive work from all of you guys. So let's close up, team. Let's get out of here. Let's get some rest. Let's get some food, and do the damn thing. But if any questions, team, you let me know, and I'm here for you, right? Don't forget to try to sign up to your executions whenever you can, guys, and we'll be okay. We'll be okay. All right. So, Smokey, I love you, dude. We'll talk very soon. And, of course, Torito, and you just let me know is whatever you need me to look at, dude. I got you. Okay, buddy? I got you, dude. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day.